Well, about 3 weeks ago, we walked through the process of building this 187-pound wagon hub. And the intended purpose of this hub is to build a wheel just like the back wheel on the Borax wagons. This is going to be made into a chandelier. And while I'm not really all that interested in making chandeliers themselves, I did agree to build this wheel so the chandelier could be built. So I'm going to put it in this old autoclave that I've repurposed specifically for pressure treating these hubs. I'm going to use a linseed oil mixture. I'm going to set it in for about 5 days and put about 10 pounds of pressure on it and force as much oil into this hub as I can so it can be drying while I'm making the spokes and the felloes to actually build this wheel. So while the order is for one back wheel off of the Borax wagons, I actually had enough material to make 2 hubs, so I'm going to make a second wheel also. What I'm going to use is this 8/4 ash for spokes. Hardwood comes in rough dimensions, random length, random width, so I'm going to sort through my pile and make up a bunch of these spokes, enough for both wheels. So now many of you are pretty regular viewers, and I appreciate that. And if you're familiar with YouTube itself, on the introduction page, underneath my logo, and all sites are this way, there's a list of links that says home, videos, playlists, channels. Well, there's a section in there that's called About. And if you have checked on that section on my site, there's a little paragraph that says in there, this is the daily operations of a modern day carriage shop. Well, not everything is glamorous and glorious and nostalgia. A lot of it is just day-to-day repetitious type work, like this. It's going to be fun to build a 1,000-pound wheel again and kind of relive those Borax experiences. But part of that is just the repetition of making lots of spokes, lots of parts. So that's just kind of the part of the everyday life here. And I thought I'd show you just what I go through. This is pretty normal. Just run-of-the-mill, not a lot of exciting stuff. But it takes this to get to the good stuff. Now you've probably noticed from past videos that I like using templates when I saw out my fellow sections. Depending on the width of the board and how rough the edges are, these patterns allow me to lay out the fellow sections accordingly. What I'm trying to do is make the most efficient use of the lumber that's available. So sometimes I'll lay them out end to end, sometimes they'll be slightly overlapped like this one is, and sometimes if I have a board that is wide enough, I'll actually stack them. So accordingly, sometimes I have to kind of serpentine saw them out. Sometimes I can take a saw and I just cut them up into sections. So each board is a little different according to the width and the quality of the board itself. Well, all this 16-quarter ash that I'm using for the fellows is all rough sawn, and a lot of it has kind of a cup to it. So what I'm doing is kind of sorting through, cutting out my pieces individually, and I'm going to run them through the planer so I have a flat surface before I do my finish sawing for the finished fellows. So now when I do my final layout, I'll know that my bandsaw blade is going to be square with the surface of these wood blocks, so it will become my fellows. That's why I rough cut them, plane them, and then do my finish layout last. I like to use an old hacksaw blade, about 4 inches long, 18 teeth per inch, for a glue spreader. It just gives me a nice, even, consistent layer of glue when I'm laminating. Well, these back wheels for the Borax wagons actually had 18 spokes, where a normal wagon only has 14. So I've got 18 times 2, 36 spokes made, 2 spokes per section on the felloes, so I have 18 fellow sections made. So this is kind of the process. Appreciate you watching through it, and next week we're going to actually put this wheel together. Thanks for watching.